Hi guys, today we are going to learn about HTTP response codes. These codes are seen or faced by all the people browsing on internet. It should be known to every software engineer. So let's get started. So here are the 5 classes of response that we are seeing, that is from 100 to 199 is considered as informational response. From 200 to 299 is considered as successful response. From 300 309 is considered as redirect. 400 to 409 is for the client, and the next one, that is from 500 to 599, is for the server errors. So you might be thinking that why is the first one is the 400 bad request or the client error, because here we are going to discuss about client error and server error. We are only going to discuss about errors. So 400 bad request response status codes indicates that the server cannot or will not process the request due to something that is perceived to be a client error. Forms of client error can be invalid request message framing, or deceptive request routing. By deleting cookies and by resetting the browser, this error can be resolved in some cases. Sometimes HTTP header is too long. In principle, headers don't have a size limit, and also target server may have to set a limit. Coming on to the next, that is 403 forbidden response. Forbidden response means user does not have permission to access page or requested resource. This error can occur intentionally or misconfigured permission. Intentionally means server understood the request but refusing to authorize it. It can be with the request for URL path that corresponds to file system directories when directory listing have been disabled in the server. Sometimes certain administrators misconfigure extension like mod or mod proxy extension to Apache to block request, and is in this case it also returns 403 forbidden response. Coming on to 404, that is server not found error. This is also a client side error, appears due to broken URL or page may not be there or have been removed from the website. Suppose resource of the page has been deployed from one to another server, so it creates new URL. So in this case, when you are redirecting to URL that is the old URL, it will show the 404 error. While using Internet Explorer and showing website cannot find or it cannot be found, there can be possibility of 400 bad request or 404 request error. So there can be possibility of both these situations in Internet Explorer or some of the browsers which are there. So sometimes by retrying or refreshing the web page, this problem can be resolved. So it is one of the errors that can be resolved easily. So here is the next one, that is 500 internal server error. Internal server error is a server side error. So if you are having any issue with the server side, in this type of error, the website server does not have internet connection or there is a connectivity issue, so there will be this type of issue that will be facing. Sometimes by retrying or refreshing the web page, you can resolve this problem. It is a general error on website server, not your computer. This type of issue can be resolved by clearing browser history or cache. There can be possibility that the page can be cached version. So this type of error can also be resolved by caching. Like if you are clearing the cache of the system, so it will be easy enough to resolve this issue. Coming on to 502, the bad request. Indication for the server, when act as a gateway or proxy, received an invalid response from the upstream server. Fixing should be done gateway server or proxies. Mainly it happens due to these 3 points given below. Unable to resolve domain name, problem with original server, that is the master server you can say, blocked request by firewall. So many computers have firewall in it to have the network security. Different ways to show 502 response are service temporarily unloaded, proxy error, or gateway error. So there might be certain developers who have designed or made such type of pages when you will be like hitting any API or hitting any web service. So the some developers might show proxy error, gateway error, temporary unloaded of server. So depends upon what. So if you will be able to get these 4 types of error that has been shown here, it will be definitely a 502 bad gateway error. Coming on to 503, that is service unavailable, indication that the server is not able to handle the request. So as you can see here, overloading or server under maintenance are the most probable reason for this response code error. Error can be handled by taking care of caching related headers that are sent along with this response, as these temporary conditions responses should usually not be cached. Troubleshooting can be done using rebooting the server or by checking the logs. You can also troubleshoot it by checking for unexpected maintenance. Coming on to 504, that is gateway timeout. This type of error happens when server attempts to load a web page but does get a response in time from another server. Most of the time error is website itself, like the website is already filled with error, or the it is server is having the error, so it is overwhelmed with that. So with this request you will be getting the 504 gateway timeout error. Website under maintenance causes this type of error in some cases. Troubleshooting can be done using checking for any DNS changes, shift through logs, fixing or faulty firewall configurations, comb through your website's code to find bugs. So thank you so much guys. As I have discussed a few points, and these are the main points amongst client errors and server side errors. So when you are doing API testing, or you can say load testing, so you will be getting these. Most of the times these are the errors that are thrown on the API tools or load testing tools. So it will help you out to analyze the result, and you will be able to solve the problems. Thank you so much guys. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.